All right, guys, some more exciting stuff today. So our smiley face big wing black Model 3 Performance is coming back in for some stopping upgrades. He's getting some big brakes installed. This is what he's been getting. It's been on the DL, but he's getting the MPP Stoptech STR60 big brake kit with the 380mm rotors up in the front to mate up with his beautiful 20x12 Apex VS5 RSs. And then he's got the MPP.R rear kit. This kit is super special because it allows you to run the factory caliper with some modifications, but you can run a wider rotor. So it allows you to modify the system in the rear so that you can run and accommodate a wider rotor. It's still the factory diameter, but it allows a wider rotor. And how does it do that? It does that by way of this. So it actually replaces the face of the clam on the rear caliper. So you separate the rear caliper, you take the face of that off, and you put this one on, you bolt this one on. And one of the beautiful things that MPP has done here is they've given you provision to actually keep that pad from rattling. So you got these little clips that'll bolt in with some Allen bolts, all right? And then it will actually hold that pad in place. If I can just get this in there, like so, all right? So the pad will be sandwiched in there. This will get bolted down with these Allens, and it won't rattle. Now the reason for that is a lot of aftermarket calipers don't have the spider clip that the OEM caliper has, so they'll rattle around. So MPP, of course, and all of their wonderful forethought, they've already provisioned for a bracket in there to prevent that rattling noise, which can get to be pretty annoying. But without further ado, you know, you got your front calipers over here, you've got your caliper brackets over here. We will share with you guys the instructions on how to get this stuff installed in another video or on our website, where we'll have a blog post that shows you all of the MPP instructions. Now, of course, he is going to get some endless brake pads as well. He's got some EX99s for the rear calipers. He's got some ME20s for the front. This is going to be exciting because he has not used a set of endless pads as yet, so I'm sure he's going to become a real believer in this amazing Japanese technology, this Japanese company with brake pads. But without further ado, let's get these things on this car and get him braking good. Smiley face is in the house. All right, let's get these brakes on this car right now. All right, guys, so when you guys get your MPP Stoptech Big Brake Kit, you're gonna have a couple of pieces. There's not that many components to it, but one of the things you will need to do is you'll need to take the caliper bracket and prepare it, so you'll get some threaded pins, essentially. You need to put some blue Loctite on here, okay? And then I already pre-installed the set screw, but those won't come pre-installed. And you'll just hand thread this in here. Okay, just hand tight, finger tight, and then you'll lock down that set screw. And that's pretty much it in terms of prepping the caliper bracket. And then these things can get bolted onto the actual vehicle itself, as well as the calipers. So let's get to that. All right, so check it out. We've got the rear caliper removed. On this trim, or I'm sorry, on this generation of vehicle this year, we actually did have to remove the parking brake motor here so that we can access this bolt. And we'll put a list of all the tools you need to do this, because we need to separate this clamp. So these 3 bolts need to be removed so that we can separate this clamp and replace that clamp with this so that we can run that wider rotor that I was talking about. So yeah, just want to give you guys a pro tip on that. On some cases, you will need to remove this. My 2020 Model 3 Performance, we did not have to do this, but on this one, we did. All right, guys, this thing is all done. We still have to bed the pads and obviously get some feedback from our driver, but there you go. MPP 380 millimeter rotors, Stoptech STR60 calipers, endless ME20 pads in the front. We've got the EX99s in the rear with the MPP.R rear upgrade, which allows you to run the wider rotor. And then he's got all of the other suite of stuff, which is in one of our prior videos. We'll share that with you. But he's got the whole MPP catalog on here now. Super Sport suspension, Super Sport springs. He's got all the rear arms, traction, trailing, camber, tow. He's got the lower control arm bearings, the compression rod bearings. I mean, he's got the whole freaking catalog on this thing. So we're about to get some MPP decals put on this thing. We are cutting them right now. So we will show you guys what this thing looks like afterwards, and we will share results with you and some feedback from him once he starts hitting the track this weekend. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. We will share links to all these braking products in the description below. And again, we appreciate your support, and we'll see you guys on the next one.